Hi, I'm Matt Secord, a product marketing manager at Meta, focused on messaging tools for small businesses. Thanks for joining the Level Up Your Inbox session. In today's session, we'll introduce you to our two business inboxes within the Messenger and Instagram consumer apps, and highlight ways messaging can be used to build relationships that lead to valuable conversations for your business. Let's get started. Now, before my entrance into tech, I supported myself via my personal training business. And what I learned in that time was that building relationships was incredibly important, especially in the fitness world, because clients have so many options, from yoga classes to spin classes, just to other personal trainers. And over the years, I found that Facebook and Instagram were great places to meet new clients and introduce myself as their fitness partner. But I had to find ways to stand out. And I did that by using messaging instead of using email. Now, messaging saved me time, but it also allowed me to connect more on a personal level with my clients. It allowed me to be more accessible, where I could answer fitness questions quickly, I could send reminders about our next sessions, or I could even share encouragement following a great workout. This extra level of quick personal communication helped me provide value, build trust, and establish long-term business clients. Now, let's jump in and introduce you to two inboxes built for professionals, including small businesses and creators, that live within the Messenger and Instagram consumer apps, both of which have helped me land new clients over the years. Now, these tools are ideal for small businesses, just like mine, that had 1 to 2 account managers. They maybe receive a handful of messages per day and primarily use one platform, either Messenger or Instagram. And because these inboxes are dedicated to your business account, they help you declutter personal messages from business messages, which is super important because as a small business, every lead matters, and being able to focus quickly on messaging back a customer will help you build trusting relationships over time. So let's start with Business Inbox in Messenger. Now, this is an ideal companion for businesses that sell goods or services online, like selling dog collars or running a hair salon. It allows you to connect your shop's catalog into it to sell goods and manage all the communications with customers pre and post sale. Instagram Direct Professional Inbox is an ideal companion for businesses or emerging content creators who leverage the Instagram social tools to build their business. And because Instagram is so social, you're able to use the inbox as a hub to manage all incoming messages, from story comments to reshares, DMs, and more. And a quick note, if you are a business who needs to manage a higher volume of messages, you may find Meta Business Suite a better fit. But for earlier stage businesses, these lightweight inboxes in our consumer apps are a great place to get started. Now, a huge benefit of these professional-centric inboxes is how connected they are to the Facebook and Instagram ecosystems. Using the inbox is a great way to drive engagement with customers and followers wherever they are, while also driving more direct communication to help answer questions or sell products or just build relationships. And across both platforms, there are a bunch of different ways that people are used to interacting with businesses, whether it's posts, emoji replies, or stories. And a lot of these interactions end up in the inbox. Now, this is a great thing because it means more opportunities to strike up conversations with customers, but it also presents challenges too, because now you have to manage all of these interactions, which can be really overwhelming. So let's take a look at a few ways Meta is helping small businesses manage this opportunity. First, let's talk about how we can invite customers to start talking with us. Consider how much easier it is to talk to a clerk at a store when they're right there in the aisle. You can find them easily and they're ready to answer your questions, versus if they're in the back room and you have to track them down to get answers. Now, the digital version of the clerk in the aisle is adding a message button on your Instagram profile or a send message button to your Facebook page to help drive customers to message you. Or you could add a message me call to action to your stories. And this is something I did for my business, and it worked great. And a pro tip is to make sure that in the actual story that you write to the customer to send you a message, or draw a little arrow down to the bottom of the story so it directs them to the message area. You can also use things like short URLs, like ig.me links or m.me links. These can drive messages from other marketing channels like email or from your website. On the screen, you can see a couple examples for Instagram. And here are a couple examples on Facebook. And I want to highlight the send message button, which is the screenshot you see in the middle. And this is a great example. It's a simple change on your Facebook page that can help drive messages to your inbox. It's easy to set up and can be really impactful. In fact, we see that businesses who use this feature receive twice the valuable conversations on Messenger compared to those who didn't. Now, all of these are great examples of ways to help drive leads for your business. And the best part is they all funnel directly to your inboxes on both Facebook and Instagram, so you can easily follow up. Now, as these messages start landing in your inbox, you can also use a tool called frequently asked questions, or FAQs for short, which help you provide customers with answers to common questions. Now, FAQs are great icebreakers. They help to get the conversation started, which is the first step in building a relationship, which hopefully leads to a sale. And remember, as a business, you can convert customer interactions into messages by giving them opportunities to connect with you. And by doing so, this means you're not leaving sales opportunities on the table. So don't forget, you want to be the clerk in the aisle, not the clerk in the back room. Now, let's check out some features that will help us manage these new interactions in a quick way, but with a personal touch. Let's start off with saved replies. Now, saved replies are saved response shortcuts to help you answer questions quickly and work on both Facebook and Instagram. These features help you save time while providing customers with timely, convenient answers to important questions. And in fact, we've seen businesses that respond to messages within 5 hours receive over 380% more messages on average. Now, saved replies are great for answering the more simple, repetitive questions you get each day, like what are your hours of operations, or do you deliver to my address? But we've seen more success when SMBs take the time to add a touch of personality to their saved replies. And people will trust the information more if they feel it's been customized. Like the example that you can see on your screen with the Lucky Shrub succulents, where they're using emojis and fun language to answer a common question like, how much should I water my new plant? And a quick pro tip, you can also long press any reply that you've already sent to quickly create a saved reply from it, which is pretty cool. Now, another quick way to acknowledge customers or followers quickly are what we call emoji replies. So even small things like replying back to customers with a fun emoji can help establish that personalized touch that customers are looking for today. And check out how easy it is. You can either long press for a selection of fun emojis or just simply double tap for a heart emoji. Now, we've seen small businesses benefit from tools and features like these to help them drive deeper connections with their customers. And none more than our Instagram Spotlight small business owner and CEO of Dressed and Joy, Mikaela Pabon. Michaela is a former IT geek turned fashion designer whose love of sharing her life and style tips via Instagram landed her on the Today Show. She's the CEO of Dressed and Joy, a Brooklyn-based clothing company, and she works closely with her husband to run the business. In her own words, Dressed in Joy is all about making it easy for women to feel good in the clothes they wear. From joggers to dresses, we design statement-making, compliment-inducing pieces that make our customers feel like the walking personification of joy. Let's take a look at her story. So I'd like to introduce Mikaela Pabon. Hey, Michaela.
Hey, Matt.
How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to share.
Great. Well, we've got a few questions for you today. I'll go ahead and kick it off.
Okay.
All right. So tell us, how did you start your business, Dressed in Joy?
So I actually started my business almost by accident. I had been searching for months for a bright, colorful hoodie that was printed all over and couldn't find anything. Finally, the inspiration hit for me to just design one myself. So I got to work. I started researching and figuring it all out. I was able to get a sample made, and when it came in to my corporate office at the time, I was so in love that I wore it to work the next day. Now, I was always sharing my daily work outfits via Instagram stories, and so I shared my hoodie outfit and received so many direct messages or DMs from friends and followers saying that they wanted one too. So I decided, okay, I'll put them up for sale just to see how many I could sell. My hope was that I would sell about 10, and I ended up selling over 50. All of the DMs I received made it so easy for me to make the decision to sell them. I don't think I would have put them up for sale, honestly, had I not gotten so many direct messages about it.
Awesome. And tell us, what inspires you as a small business owner?
Well, I'm really passionate about what I do because I love helping women step outside of their comfort zone. I would receive so many comments on my Instagram posts about what I'm wearing, and I'd hear women saying that they love to dress like me or they'd love to wear the things that I wear, but they just don't have the confidence to put things together. So essentially, I made it easier for them by designing bold prints in everyday styles. So it's so easy to throw on a hoodie, it's so easy to throw on a t shirt, and they can very easily be worn with a pair of jeans or something similar that's like super easy to put on. So that's what makes Dress to Enjoy special. It gives my community an opportunity to dress like me because I make it so easy with accessible pieces. Getting direct messages from customers telling me how confident they feel and how many compliments they receive when they wear some of my pieces, it really inspires me to keep going.
That's great. And tell us, how has Instagram and the Instagram Direct Pro Inbox helped you grow your business?
Well, the Instagram Direct Pro Inbox has been a huge help in growing my business. One of the challenges I faced was deciding where to go when it came to adding more offerings. I knew I wanted to sell more than athleisure, but just wasn't quite sure what my customers would be interested in. So, something I love so much about Instagram is being able to use Instagram stories to show design samples and then get an immediate reaction via direct message from my audience about whether or not it's something that they'd be interested in purchasing. Um, and then that also helps me decide whether or not something goes into production. So when it was time for me to take the leap into a new fashion category, I turned to Instagram stories and I asked for replies to my stories. Like, help me decide what you guys want. And that really helped not only my customers felt involved, um, but it just helped me to know what they would be interested in. Having direct message, the direct message tool was integral in this process because I was able to hear directly and immediately, which was really, really important for me, was that immediate response. Hear immediately what worked and what didn't. And it's helped me to learn about my customers even more. And I'm able to make those decisions much, much easier now that I have a better sense of who my customer is. And the great thing is that I can continue to do that as my business grows. I can continue asking my customers via stories and getting direct messages from them to help it grow even further.
Awesome. And what advice would you give to an aspiring business or brand about how to utilize business messaging to help grow their business?
My biggest piece of advice would be to talk to your community. Don't just think of your inbox as a place to field questions, but a place to grow your community and grow the trust between you and your customers. When it's a real person on the other side of that direct message, your customers appreciate that. Using emojis and speaking to them in an everyday language that they can relate to can help you build the trust factor, the likability factor with your customers, and more importantly, with your potential customers. Also, being able to respond quickly fosters the feeling of community with your audience. And we as a business completely understand that customers need to feel like you're paying attention to them. They need to feel like, you're right there with them. And having that tool, having a tool like the IGD Pro Inbox makes it easy to stay on top of messages and get our customers the answers they need quickly.
That's great. All right. Can you describe the IGD Pro inbox features you use the most and get the most value from? Like, what couldn't you live without?
Yeah, so flags and folders have been complete lifesavers for me. Before I had help managing my inbox, using the flag feature to denote which messages needed follow up was super, super important. It's so much easier for customers to send questions via DM rather than email. So using the flag feature helps in keeping track of who we still need to follow up with. And another thing that really helps is being able to have the different folders. So that helps me to separate business questions from maybe some personal messages that come through on our business account. We usually like to go through our message requests first because they could be questions from potential customers about sizing or about questions about if items are going to be coming back in stock. So we definitely don't want to miss out on a sale. So staying on top of our inbox is it's key.
That's great. Great advice. Well, thanks, Michaela. We appreciate learning all about your business and how you use business messaging as a core part of that. So thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, as a small business owner, you sell your product better than anyone. Now, make sure you give yourself as many chances as possible using the channels across Facebook and Instagram to drive customers to message you. And keep those conversations manageable and organized by utilizing folders and flags like Michaela, and answer new messages efficiently with saved replies. I want to thank you for joining us today and learning about the great professional inbox tools we have for small businesses. And a special thanks to Michaela for telling her awesome story and highlighting her experience using business messaging as a key part of her small business success.